Welcome to the Praetorian Guard Network Administration Console demonstration video. In this video, we'll cover the Network Administration Console features including network monitoring features such as event log monitoring, hardware inventory, software inventory, PC performance such as RAM, CPU, hard drive, space, etc., operating system information, and syslog server data. We also include the network management features, including enterprise backups, Windows scripting, SQL Server maintenance, SQL Server scripts, local user management, and Active Directory management. When you open the Praetorian Guard Network Administration Console, the first screen you're brought to is the home page. Here you can choose the area that you'd like to go into initially. We'll choose Event Log Analyzer. Here in the top left, you can choose the server or computer that you would like to review. This tab we're on is the service layout, so this reflects the prefect, all the tribunes, and all the centurions that are members of each tribune. If I choose this tribune level, I'll review all the event logs for all computers that communicate with this tribune. I can also choose to review my data by organizational tree, by computer groups, by individual computers, and by inactive centurions. If I were to click on the accounting department in the organizational tree, I would pull back all the event logs for every computer that's in the accounting department for the date range selected. Here we're just going to select the accounts receivable department, and we're going to load all the event log data for the date range of the last day. Notice all the information has been pulled back into our grid. Here we can then sort by any of our columns, such as entry type. Entry type would include success, failure, error, warning, and information. Here we notice we only have information and success notifications for these computers. However, I can also drill down further, and I can sort by computer name by grabbing the computer name and dropping it in the header. Now this tree dependency grouping format is formed in the grid that's allowing us to drill down into our data and review that information. In addition, after I review the data and I'm ready and I'm completed with reviewing this data, if I mark as reviewed, this event log data will no longer populate in this grid. This makes it easy to review event logs for your network and not have to plow through all the previous event logs you've already reviewed. However, all can be shown at any time by choosing Choose All, as opposed to just Show Not Reviewed. In addition, I can filter down by going to the Windows Logs tab. Here, I can choose any of the Windows logs that I would wish to review independent of each other. Notice these check boxes. And I can also review the application and service logs on this other tab, which allows me to easily check each of the individual areas I'd like to review event logs for. So if you have other applications that may be running on your network, or even SQL Server, things of that sort, those application logs you can choose individually by checking or unchecking these appropriate boxes in this combo box. In addition, you can export or print any of your event log data out. You can export to Excel, PDF, or a CSV, and you can print, preview, or print them. Finally, if I'm reviewing each individual event log, if I double click one, it's very much like Windows and pulls up the event log details, lets me review. I can copy to clipboard, see the detail information, and I can move up and down through the event logs just like you would with Microsoft's Event Log Viewer. We also give you the capability of performing log analysis. Log analysis will allow you to review more of a graphical analysis of that information. So for instance, I've pulled up that same data in log analysis. Now it's pulling up that information and showing me which computers are having what sort of problems. So I can see success audits and the quantities that are occurring on each PC. We also give you the security log mapping, which allows you to review which users are recorded in the event logs as doing what tasks. So for instance, here we can see on this computer, the NT authority system only has one event log. And you can alter this data. This is a pivot table graph system here, so it allows you to alter the pivot table and alter the data that you want to view in your graph. We also give you log alerting. You can set up event log alerts. This works as a wizard. You create your event log alert, and you can create as many of these as you want. You're not limited. Here we have one set up for critical alerts, and we can set them to run at this Tribune level. Or I can alter and choose individual computers. I can review by computer groups, or I can do by organizational units of my company. The next step is I choose the recipients of who should receive this alert. Now I can store many emails per contact within the system. So each user can have as many emails as I wish to assign to them. So I can have external and internal emails. And I then can choose all my recipients. So I can choose by organizational units, user groups, or users. And those individuals will be notified if the following alerts are found. Here we can see that we've set up this event log alert to fire only if a critical error occurs in the system event log. You can get more granular and do actual event IDs, etc. But it's easier to just say if there's a critical alert or a failure or a warning, you can get emailed and notified. So it really depends on how granular you wish to get with your event log alerts. And then you save, and now the system is active and monitoring your event logs and preparing to alert you if a critical alert occurs on your network. Next is the syslog analyzer. The syslog analyzer works very much like the event log analyzer. You set up a Tribune, you license a Tribune that collects data from any of your network devices that support syslog. So you must have a Tribune, and it cannot have any Centurions assigned to it. And once you do that, your syslog analyzer, if you've licensed it, will become active, and then the data will start collecting. Once that data is collected, you can review your information just like you were with the event logs. You can perform syslog analysis, just like we were looking at. And it would support severity distribution analysis as well as facility distribution analysis. And we also support syslog alerting. Once you have data in the system, you can assign more user-friendly host names under the host setup here. The PC inventory analyzer area of the product is where you can review your hardware and software, as well as the operating system and performance tracking of your hardware on the network. When I open PC Inventory Analyzer, PC Summary is the first screen that I come to. This screen allows me to click on any one computer and review the PC Summary information for that computer. Notice I've clicked on File Server 03, and we can see that this is a 2003 server. We can see what hardware is on this server, what software is on this server, its PC operating inventory such as shares, environment variables, services, local users, and groups. We also have PC performance. This lets us see how that computer's memory usage, CPU usage, and hard drive availability is running. And finally, we give you the purchase and warranty details. You can track within our system all of the warranty information for every piece of equipment you have, including an image of the receipt of when you purchased that server or PC, as well as the length of the warranty. This allows you to do warranty reporting on all of your equipment, so you can easily tell what do you need to budget for replacement this year if you have a 3-year or 5-year replacement schedule. You also could store the purchase cost, so you can easily tell how much you spent for that equipment at the initial purchase point. Under PC analysis, we give you the capability of doing more advanced reporting and analysis of your equipment. So once again, I can click on our accounts receivable department and load information about the hardware for the equipment in the accounts receivable department. All of that information is pulled back. Here we're reviewing the hardware. We can also review software. We can do more advanced filtering of the hardware and software, whereas we may want to see who is running what Adobe 9, so we can quickly see, well, they're both running Adobe 9. We can also see their RAM performance. We can see their CPU usage, drive usage, and drive space availability, as well as the vendor warranty information, which we have none stored. In addition, we have the capability of seeing policy violations. So here for the accounts receivable department, we can load our data, and this is going to show us what violations we see. You can drill down into this information and see what actual software is violating across your whole network. And you can see hardware violations as well. And all that is set up under your inventory setup, which is the final tab here. Here we allow you to set up your hardware types, your vendors, so you may buy Dell or HP, and then the actual brands and models of the equipment that you've purchased. And then under software policies and hardware policies is where you set up what's approved and unapproved for your software, and what hardware is approved and unapproved. And all this controls your reporting as to what violations you have. Next, we have the Backup Manager. The Praetorian Guard Backup Manager is designed to either one, support a NAS backup system where you have a NAS server on your network, or another server that's acting as a file server that you wish to run backups to, or you can do local backups to local drives or USB hard drives on individual servers or PCs. The Praetorian Guard product utilizes the Microsoft Windows backup mechanisms within server or PC operating systems to perform the backups. We give you the capability of doing these backups with a more advanced backup mechanism, such as industry standard products that are on the market. So for instance, initially when you first set up your backups, you come in and do your backup setups. Here we allow you to do grouping, so you can have servers and PCs. This would allow you to better group your PC and server backups. We allow you to set up destinations, so you can either do UNC mappings to network-based shares or local mappings to local drives. We support either methodology. And we also get the capability of doing naming schemes. Since we're doing NAS backups, our backups need to have a directory name. We allow you to create any number of backup names based on variables that we know exist at the time of the backup that we generate. So for instance, you can do computer name or company, days between backups. All this information can be stored in your name. Here we have one that's year, month, and computer, and our sample says it's 2013-12-computer. That would be the name of the backup. If we go back up and take a look at this backup job, we can see how the backup wizard looks. When setting up a backup job within Praetorian Guard, we can support for every backup job any number of servers or PCs. This makes it very easy for you to set up backups for all of your PCs to back up to a NAS box. You can choose how many computers you wish to back up. The only common feature that must be in common amongst them all is the directory and pathing. So if you do a local server backup, such as to a C or D drive, they all must have a backup drive that's at the C or D drive, whichever drive letter you choose. The UNC backup will apply to all of them. You just need to make sure your pathing, your directory naming is appropriate. Then next you choose what you wish to back up on each of those servers. So you can choose to back up the full system or individual files. And then you choose the schedule, and we give you the capability of doing an effective from date, the time window when you would like that backup started, the repeat interval, which allows you to do a Tower of Hanoi backup. So if you chose to do a Tower of Hanoi, you can have one backup with 2 days, one with 4 days, one with 8 days, etc. We can give you weekdays, so you can choose any number of days within the month that you'd like to have the backup fired, or individual month dates, or you can do specific days of include and excludes. And finally, you choose who do you wish to have an alert based on the success and failure of the backup, and receive the log. So if Windows provides a log, that log will be emailed to this user. Once you're completed, you save, and the backup is now ready to go. The next area is SQL Server Manager. The SQL Server Manager of Praetorian Guard gives you the capability of doing many of the same features that existed in the Windows SQL 2000 Enterprise Manager. The current management studios of SQL servers, the SQL management studios, are a little bit more difficult for many users, so we give you many of the capabilities that existed in the 2000 Enterprise Manager. So if I connect to any given SQL server that I have rights to connect to, I can come within to that SQL server and do view information. So I can view any given database on that server. I can back up that database. I can restore that database. I can set up a backup task. I can set up custom tasks. Custom tasks can be any SQL script that you want to run on a scheduled basis. And we allow the same scheduling mechanism that we had under the backups, where you can do any number of days or times that you want something to run. In addition, because we're doing backups on the SQL servers as well, we give you the capability of doing SQL backup naming. So here you can choose naming schemes that may be more advanced, that you can come up with the name of each backup job. This prevents you from overwriting backups that you don't want to overwrite. Finally, we have the Script Manager. Script Manager allows you to run scripts across your network, wherever you'd like. So you can do, for instance, defragmentation, all sorts of basic scripting jobs that you've done with Windows, you can easily do with our product. Basically, you come in and you create your job. We can allow you to save scripts. So we have script groupings just like our backups, and we allow you to create standard scripts. So if you have a common script that you're going to run that's generic across many computers, and you want to just set it up once, you can set it up under script setup, and then go back to your script jobs and create them and utilize the script setup as the source. When you're doing a script job, you choose what servers or computers you want to run the script upon. You can choose individual computers, computer groups, do it by organizational tree, or by the service layout within the product. So once I've chosen my appropriate information and the computers I wish to run this script upon, I can click Next. Here I can choose from one of my standard scripts that I've created, and I have none created right now, or I can do a custom script. Here I can cut and paste the script that I've come up with and put it into the server text box, the script text box here, and run. And I can also do a test on a given computer. and see how that script performs. I'm just keying a simple script in here for us. Next, you choose the backup schedule, the schedule for the script, and this is very similar to the backup scheduling. You have all the capabilities of repeat intervals, weekdays, month days, etc. And finally, you choose the alerts, so which recipients will receive the alert as to the success and failure of the scripts. Once this is complete, we can save our script and it will now be ready to run on that equipment based on that schedule we've chosen. Finally, we also give the capability of doing PC command line. You can simply choose any computer on your network and initiate that console. Once that console is up, I can easily run any command that I would like on that remote computer and review that information back in my console. This is just a nice feature to remotely access your equipment and run command lines on it without having to physically go to that box and run the command line. This completes the Praetorian Guard Network Administration Console demonstration. If you have more information at our website at getpg.net. If you have questions, call us at 804-762-4200 or email us at info@getpg.net. We appreciate your time and look forward to working with you.